LeBron just came back from his groin injury, and the Lakers got subsequently waxed at home by the Chicago Bulls and their young guys. Nikola Jokic, his assortment of injuries, it's a concern, but I'm not sure if it's one of those things where I'm worried about him, like if I would be worried about Giannis in a knee or something like that.
Right.
But I think Denver's issue is if Jokic is not 100%, you don't have a player there. Even Jamal Murray, even when Jokic is 100%, can Jamal Murray bring his game up all the time? And if Jokic is 5% off, I don't know if they have that margin for error, James, where they can make it up in the Western Conference where it may not be enough if he's at 100%.
No, I agree. And I know that Nuggets team has been good this season. Seeing them twice in person, it is a team that they don't look as good as the record suggests when I've seen them live. The 2 games I saw, Jokic is just playing no defense. They obviously are lacking in shot creation. And I agree with you. Like, if Jokic is out or hampered or not 90 to 100%, this team is in trouble because, like I said, I don't think they're that good with him at 100%, as great as he is. And 2, it's like, where's the offense going to come from? Is he going to be able to defend at a baseline level? This team is, Jamal Murray's had an up and down year. He was really good last night in Houston, but obviously up and down. And it's a team that just doesn't have the margin for error that a lot of good teams in the NBA have. And I think that's why I'm not too concerned about the Lakers thing. LeBron obviously is a big piece of what they do, and he's had a great year. But thanks to Nico Harrison, they have Luka Doncic. That man, as we've seen, has done more. I wouldn't say with less, right? Like, I don't want to disrespect Kyrie in that regard, but he's done more. He's done a lot with not a lot. And this Lakers team has just been playing pretty good basketball for the most part this second half of the season. So it's definitely a bigger concern for the Nuggets. Everything revolves around Jokic, while in LA, you have guys who can alternate that, even throw obviously Austin Reeves into that. They just have a little bit more. And I think shot creation, and not just for yourself, but playmaking for others, is probably the least talked about important thing in today's game when it comes to roster building. And to have multiple guys who can create for themselves and others is something that the Lakers have that at that level that not many teams have.
That's why, and we're going to get to this later, but that's why I have big-time concerns if I am Detroit against the Knicks in the playoff series. Because I'm starting to hear everybody starting to say the things that I've been saying for the past 3 months. If the Pistons and Knicks meet in the playoffs, the Knicks will be going home.
Yeah.
I'm starting to change my tune a little bit, and we'll get to that when we talk about Cade, but it's for that very reason that I have concerns. It's about shot creation. Can you get your shot? Luka Doncic is one of the best, greatest can you get your shot players in the history of this game. Despite the weight concerns, the conditioning, he can get his shot in such a way that, you know, he opens locked doors type of thing. Like, that's the guy that he is. Jokic is the supreme machine in the NBA. Everything revolves around him. The Christian Browns, the Peyton Watsons, the Russell Westbrooks at this stage of his career, they all need Nikola Jokic and his playmaking to eat. You brought up the lack of defense. I'm 100% with you. There's always this, how do you play Jokic on pick and roll defense? If I'm offenses, I'm using him every single time. I'm bringing you up to the screen. I'm going to see how much interest you have in defending that night.
Yep.
For the Lakers, to me, LeBron has had a great year, but he's not their best player. Luka Doncic is their best player. You could say LeBron has had the better year, and at 40 years old, man, he is doing some crazy stuff. There's no disrespect for LeBron here. But especially when you have a groin, James, a groin injury, like everybody's got groins. When you got a groin injury, when you got that, you almost have to slow walk it in a way, because if that thing pops, it's done. It's almost like you have to treat it like a hamstring, right? Oh, it's a hamstring strain. Well, we got to be careful with it, because if it's re-aggravated, it's not going to be re-aggravated in a light way. It's going to be re-aggravated in a major way. So I was in Boston the night that LeBron aggravated the groin injury. And I remember hearing that night, it's not going to be as serious as everybody thinks. I wouldn't be surprised if he was back in a week or two. Came right back in a week or two. But subsequently, you have these games to play, James. My fear is 40-year-olds, do you get healthier when you start having nicks and bruises like that throughout the course of the season? Like, that's the fear. Remember, he missed the All-Star game because, of an, injury and everything else. And then he showed up taking pictures without his jersey. I thought that was hilarious, right? But you're of the belief, it seems, that the Lakers are better equipped to survive than the Nuggets. Can the Lakers win more than a playoff round if with LeBron at 75%?
Ooh, that's a great question, right? So my thing with the LeBron, like you mentioned, Vinny, like you're dead on, like hamstring, groins, even ankle injuries, like that stuff can linger. And it is not you're out for 2 weeks and then you're magically healed. Like that stuff goes well into the offseason usually. Now, what I will say is LeBron is different than any athlete we've ever seen in terms of health and ability to recover. And I would also say I wouldn't be surprised if, kind of what you mentioned, like the injury isn't as serious as it appears. Like it feels like LeBron tends to take some time off right before the playoffs usually. And maybe this was one of those situations. But yeah, let's say he is like at a 75%. The West is weird, man. I don't think the Lakers are title contenders personally, even like at full strength. Because I do think that OKC is by far and away the best team in the West. I think Houston gives LA some problems. I know that might be the unpopular opinion.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I think Houston's going to put whoever they play, Houston's going to put them out.
I agree. I'm with you. Like Houston just like they play hard every single night. They have a deep team. Steven Adams has like shown some life. They just really, really play hard. They have guys that can switch on defense. Like they got it. I worry about them like last seconds of games, like who's going to shoot and who you're going to run offense through.
Right.
But I think that they can lock some teams up. And so to your point, like I don't know if the Lakers win 2 series healthy regardless. But I like their chances better than Denver if LeBron is 75% and Jokic is 75%.
Here's the crazy thing about that, because I tend to agree with you. I don't have the strongest feeling about the Lakers going to the conference finals. And just in large part, guys, not because I don't think the Lakers are capable on a night-to-night basis, of playing up to whatever level of competition that's in front of them. But the playoffs are every other night. And consistency, fatigue, all of those things to me is like a talent. And it's not an endless reservoir of energy that you have night after night. And the Lakers have been really, really good. They've been far better than I've expected them to be post-trade, especially when you didn't go out and get a rim protector and you've just been using Jackson Hayes and you've just been playing really, really hard. You've been playing harder than everybody else. The problem is everybody plays hard in the playoffs.
Right.
Now, to Denver, this is the thing that would scare me. It's 2 things that scares me, James. It's the fact that I just looked at Jamal Murray's numbers, and I know he's been playing really well in last night's game where he put out Houston in their 9-game winning streak or 10-game winning streak single-handedly. Take that notwithstanding, the 15 games since the All-Star break. Here are his splits. You ready for this?
Let's do it.
49, 47, 93. 49 from the field, 47 from 3, 93% at the line, and he's averaging 23.5 a game and 6 assists. That's one of the best stretches of his career, and yet and still, the Denver Nuggets are basically a 500 basketball team over the last 10, 15 games. Like, that would scare me if I'm them, because I think you have to put together a consistent stretch where you have health and you have roster continuity where guys get used to playing with each other again and getting used to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
That scares me a little bit, even though they're champions and we've seen them win a championship. We don't look at the Milwaukee Bucks that way. We look at the Milwaukee Bucks as food in the first round. What's to stop the Denver Nuggets from being food in the first round, even with the best player on earth?